Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is called Wear Your Bloody Fragrances. What do you think this is going to be all about? If you already have an idea what this video is all about, do pause it now, comment below, let me know. We'll see if you get it right. I've got a nice cup of mint tea here. My voice is a little my voice is a little gruff today. I was out late last night, had a few drinks. So I'm not on form. I am definitely in chill mode. It's a relaxing day today. And a nice soothing cup of mint tea. The weather's miserable. You can hear it raining. It's grey out there. I don't feel inspired to get out there today. And so, yeah, I'm going to film a video. I might do a live stream later. And I might read a little bit of my book. That's the kind of day it is. I've already had a lovely long hot bath. So today's video is all about using your bloody fragrances. And I'm not just talking about all of your fragrances. I know some of you have a lot and some of you maybe not so many. But I think we all have some fragrances that we class as special, rare, hard to find, or just prohibitively expensive, that we find ourselves not wearing them that often because we're afraid that they'll run out. But that doesn't make any sense to me. And I see people say this a lot when I watch YouTube videos, when I read reviews. On Fragrantica, for example, oftentimes people will talk about something discontinued and they'll say, I only have a quarter of a bottle left and I know that I'll never find it again, so I never wear it. And you're like, well, what sort of enjoyment are you getting out of it then? Because I don't get any enjoyment out of just looking at a bottle. All right, I get a little bit of enjoyment out of looking at a beautiful perfume bottle, but I get my enjoyment out of wearing the perfumes. Even if I only wear one spray on one wrist because it's hard to replace, maybe. But I do think many of us are hoarding our fragrances and are simply so scared of running out that we're not using them. And unless you just are a pure bottle collector, that's fine. If you're just collecting the bottles mostly, I can understand that a little bit. But if you actually really love how the fragrance smells, how it wears on your skin, how it makes you feel, then you are missing out on so much enjoyment by leaving that bottle on the shelf because you're afraid of it running out. If you can source the money, you can pretty much have anything in this world that you want, or bar the rarest of things. Generally speaking, most of the fragrances I have here, I can replace. They just might cost me a bit more money. And usually, we as human beings, we can be very resourceful. And if you really want to find the money for something, you can. There are ways of making money. You can sell your body on the street. You can sell your I am joking. Of course, I don't recommend selling your body on the street unless you already do that and you're fine with it. Okay, this wasn't planned. But there are ways and means of making money. You can start up a little side business. You can sell things around your house that you're not using. Unless you're seriously on the poverty line, of course, we're not talking to. If you're on the poverty line, yeah, you don't want to be thinking about buying anything you don't need. If you are someone who has a roof over your head and you have an income, there are ways and means of generating a bit more income, or you might have a birthday, Christmas coming up, and you could ask for money for that to buy the fragrance that you want. So I don't think we should be held back by the expensive nature of some of these perfumes to actually procure. Although I do think that definitely happens, and it happens sometimes with myself. So I'm going to go into all the fragrances I've got here, which are all absolute favourites of mine, fragrances I love, and ones that I could potentially hold back on wearing sometimes because they might be a little harder to replace, and my thoughts and feelings around how I might go about replacing them. We'll start with the most recent fragrance to my collection, and it's Unspoken Musk from Francesca Bianchi. As you can see, I am wearing it a lot. I've used that already in just about 2 weeks. This of course is not discontinued, and it's not the most expensive. They're about €100 for the 30ml. If you look at price per mil, you could say that's quite high, but these are very highly concentrated and very unique, very individual fragrances. So for me, I am not afraid of running out. I will repurchase just because I love it so much. Unspoken Musk, I have reviewed it quite recently. It's slightly animalic. It's got castoreum and civet, but to me it smells more like a slightly dirty pillow. And then you have this beautiful powdery, musky, vanillic dry down, this gorgeous aura. It's not a big beast mode fragrance, but you catch whiffs of it. The sillage is amazing. So this is my new favourite, and I am not afraid to wear it, and I will absolutely replace it when it's gone, even if I have to sell my body on the street. So a different kind of fragrance here. This is Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, and I wanted to tell you this story about this. So I had the 50ml, and I love it so much. I talk about it all the time on the channel, and I have friends who also really love the Paris Monte Carlo line, and I was running out of it, but I was not going to stop wearing it, because to me it's like, well, I'm just going to replace it. And it is one of the more affordable fragrances here. It's not that expensive, so I was just going to replace it. But let's imagine I was on a tight budget and I knew that I couldn't afford it for a while. I would have just eventually found the money for it. I would have maybe gone without it for a while, and then I would have bought it once I'd sort of accumulated a little budget to be able to buy it. But as it happens, and this is what happens in life, and this is now going to go a little bit deep here, but if you are generally a positive person, and if you try to do the right thing most of the time, and if you put it out there into the world, what it is you love and what makes you happy, sometimes really good things happen, and good people can facilitate nice things for nice people. What I'm trying to say here is, a lovely friend, Alicia, got in touch with me, and we've chatted over the years about fragrances and stuff, and Alicia got in touch to say she had this 100ml bottle. She also had a 50ml of Vanida Tahiti from the same brand, which I really love, and I have a bottle already. And she sold both bottles to me for way cheaper than retail. So a very kind person, a very kind gesture, and just sometimes, just by putting it out there without expecting anything, without asking for anything, but just letting people know what it is in life that you love and what it is in life that you want. Sometimes things come to you, and that has definitely happened in the case of this one. So Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee is a very rich, exotic, voluptuous ylang and jasmine, I think it is. A gorgeous floral accord that's very rich, with an amazing vanilla accord that's very natural and spicy and exciting and textural. It's like, it's so hard to explain how amazing the vanilla in here is. So that's Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, and I now have this big 100ml bottle. One of my favourites from Teone Reinthal natural perfumery is this one here. It's called Sacred Ground. Now, when it comes to Teone, she is limited by the materials that she can get. So sometimes things have to be discontinued. Sometimes things come back in a slightly different form. So if you fall in love with one, you can feel a little scared that you might never be able to get it in its exact form again. Currently, Sacred Ground is still on Teone's website, but who knows for how long. It's got the most amazing sandalwood in it, and it's got this lemony smell. I can't remember what it's called, lemon myrtle or something. It's got a lemony scent to it, but honey as well. So honeyed, lemony, rich, resinous, sandalwood. It's absolutely amazing, really long lasting, really good projector. I adore it. It is stunning, and it's like nothing else I own, and you can see that I've made quite the dent in it. Actually, I would wear it more often, but I am slightly afraid of not being able to replace it. There is a flanker to it now. I've forgotten what it's called. I might get that at some point. And what I think I'm trying to say here is, yes, these ones are very expensive, and coming from Australia, there's added costs with customs and postage, etc. But for me, it's worth it, and it's not something I would necessarily replace immediately, but it is something that I would find the money to replace it, even if I sell a fragrance from my collection or two, probably a few. But that's something that I routinely do. I sort of go through and see if there's anything that I'm not really reaching for, and I can sell them, and that frees up a little bit of money to spend back on the perfumes that I really want. And for me, Sacred Ground is extremely special and potentially something that could disappear at any moment, and I really, really love it. So I will be trying to wear. One reason I don't wear this one as much as well is because it's a commitment, because of how good it is in terms of its longevity and its projection. It really is all day and very, very noticeable all day. So oftentimes that actually slows me down from wearing it, because sometimes I don't want the fragrance to be that strong and that long lasting, because I might want to change it up some halfway through the day, and this isn't something that I would do that with. Now this one's more special simply because you can't actually get it here in the UK. It's from Marissa Zappa's, and it's called Annabelle's Birthday Cake, and I have used a fair amount. I would say it's probably only that full now. This is special for a couple of reasons. So A, I can't get it in the UK. B, a very kind friend, Sherry, facilitated me being able to get this, and therefore if I did want to replace it, it would require asking a favour of a friend. And so, but I still do wear it whenever I want. I don't go for it all the time because it is quite gourmand. I'd say it's one of my sweeter perfumes. It's at the top end of how sweet I would go. It's not ridiculously sweet, and it is also floral. So it's got tuberose petals, and I'm not sure if there's jasmine, but there's definitely a white floral, an amazing vanilla in here, a really beautiful vanilla. There's supposed to be a rubber note, like a balloon, the scent of a balloon. I don't know that I really get that, but on occasion I think there is something in there that gives a little texture of latex rather than actual balloons. And it's really pretty, really girly for me. You can see like the picture on it. It's very girly, but I think it's a sophisticated gourmand, and it's really lovely. And for me, I probably won't replace this one because it was quite expensive as well. And actually, I think once it's gone this time. But I'm not going to slow down on using it. I'm going to wear it whenever I want, because life's too short. We don't know what's around the corner. Now let's talk about discontinued. This one's a long discontinued. It's Alien Liqueur de Parfum. This is the one that has an extra rum note. It's a little bit like Essence de Parfum, but has a bit of a rum note, and I find it a little almondy, but I find Essence de Parfum almondy as well. And this one I haven't used a lot, but it is a very rich, is that the right way around? No, that's the back. It's a very rich, sweet, resinous, vanillic version of Alien. So you can still smell that there's Alien in there, but it's Alien blended in with real rich, dark, sweet notes. So it's quite rich for my taste these days, but I still love it when I wear it. And I'm not going to hold off wearing it because, yes, I probably won't be able to replace it. However, if I absolutely was madly in love with it, I would find a way to replace it. There will be bottles out there, and they will have a price tag on them. And most people have a price that they'll part with certain special things for. And if you really, really, really love something, then it's kind of worth it to you to pay a bit more than maybe you normally would. And yeah, that's a really, really good one. As is the Goutte de Parfum, which is the taster fragrance. Very, very similar, but without that rum note. Now then, let's talk about this absolute stunner. This is Hera. So first of all, this was a gift from Liz at Papillon. I was going to buy it, absolutely 100%, couldn't wait to buy it. In fact, I wanted to support Liz. Liz very kindly insisted on sending this to me, and I'll always be thankful. And that to me is why it's special. But, well, that's not the only reason. That adds to how special it is. Its specialness comes from the gorgeous way it smells. And I love it on my skin. And it's strong and it's long lasted. It's beautiful, a mixture of white florals, amber, you've got loads of orris in here, and then a slightly sweet yet oak mossy labdanum chypre-esque base, but it's always a bit powdery. It's really lovely. And as soon as this is empty, I will repurchase. It's the most expensive fragrance on Liz's website, and I believe that's because A, it's an extrait, so it's highly concentrated. B, it's got the most naturals and very, very expensive naturals that Liz has ever used in a perfume for her brand. And yes, it is really special, but no, I'm not going to hold off wearing it. The only reason I slow down my wearing of it is because I don't want to lose how special it feels. So I don't want to wear this every day. I don't want to wear it to Asda. I don't want to wear it to walk around the streets while I'm selling my book. No, no, I'm joking. Sometimes I just wander around the streets of an evening. If I haven't had time for a good walk, I might just go wandering locally around the streets. And this is not the perfume for that. This is a perfume for going out. This is a perfume for having a nice time with friends, meeting people, maybe on a date, that kind of thing. A coffee meeting, I don't know. If you're doing something nice and special and being with people, then this is the one. This is the one. It's really gorgeous, but I will absolutely replace this one as soon as it's done, and I'm not holding off wearing it. And then on to my last one, which is another discontinued one, and I've talked about it a lot. So this is My Insolence. It's not the original Insolence from Gourmand, but it's the flanker that came out in 2012, and it's called My Insolence, and you can tell because it says it there. No, that's not it. The My is there, so it's Insolence there, My there. Some of these are marked slightly different. There's a couple of versions of the bottle. The bottle's the same, but the markings around the outside edge can vary. And yeah, this one is the best combination of musk, vanilla, and there's a really gentle, clean white floral. So it is almost laundry detergent musk, but it's not really. It's not just pure laundry musk. It's just this clean, almost effervescent musk with a gorgeous white floral accord and what smells to me like real good vanilla. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I ended up buying quite a few backup bottles. So I think I had 4 or 5 bottles at one time. And I've just realised that that's too much, because I still will not get through all of it in a lifetime. So I have just let one go on eBay. I have just sold a backup bottle of this, but I still have three or 4, which is plenty. And there's plenty of these on eBay all the time. There's about 3 or 4 going at any one time on eBay in the UK, but people are putting the prices up. So they're putting the prices up to £135. Even there's some that are going for, or they're advertising them for £200. I don't recommend that you pay that for this, but if you keep your eyeballs peeled, if you keep looking, you will eventually find one that is not overpriced. A lot of people will sell their My Insolence and not realise it's even the My version, and they may well just advertise it as Insolence. So you can do your searching on eBay, take the My off of your search and just keep checking it, or have a notification and just check it all the time. Eventually you will find one of these for not the most ridiculous amount of money. Which is why I've ended up stopping buying backups of this, and why I've let one go, because there are plenty of these out there. You just have to be a bit patient to get one at a good price. So I'm not afraid to wear this whenever I want, and I do think having the backup bottles does help with that. Maybe if this was all I had, I might hesitate to wear it as often as I would like to. And there's kind of like my point there is, what is my point? The point is, it would be stupid for me to not wear it if I only had that, because I wouldn't be getting any enjoyment out of owning that and seeing it sitting on the shelf. There's no pleasure in that for me. So even if I had no backup bottles, I should be wearing this. I should be wearing my bloody perfumes, and so should you. But if it helps, and if you have the budget, backup bottles, generally speaking, I don't advocate for backup bottles. But if there's something that you really love, that you know is quite difficult to get hold of, then keep searching until you can get a decent price on a backup bottle. And knowing that you have that backup bottle will probably encourage you to wear that perfume a little more often and enjoy it. I have just done a video on shopping or fragrance addiction and the buying of fragrances, and how we are potentially ruining our financial futures by buying perfumes all the bloody time. So why not take this as a little gentle reminder to wear what you already have and slow down on the purchasing and enjoy what you have? Because sometimes I go through my little wardrobe of fragrances and I'll spray something I've not sprayed in a while, and I'll think, wow, I love this, why am I not wearing it? And the reason I'm not wearing it is the reason why I'm not wearing a lot of perfumes, because I'm testing stuff all the time, or trying out samples, or buying something new and then wearing that all the time. And sometimes it's nice to just slow down. You can actually really enjoy what you have, test out slowly the samples that you already have. You don't have to have any strict rules on it, but it's just nice to slow it down. That's what I'm doing anyway. Let me know what you think. Let me know whether you have any special perfumes. What are they? And are you letting yourself wear them, or are they sitting on the shelf? And how do you feel about that? If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to buy me a coffee, I will put the link in the description below. It's always really, really appreciated. And I'll catch you in another video. Bye.